We are going to do a cabin update here. I know I've been doing a few cabin updates because a lot of things are happening, which I'm very excited about, but I want to keep you guys up to speed of what's going on in the cabin. We finally have power, and we've had power before, but we only had like 2 outlets, so it was literally unplugging and plugging things in. But now all the outlets work. We have lights at night. It is so beautiful to see the cabin all lit up at night. Most of the time, just because I'm just kind of used to here, I end up turning off all the lights and having it like pitch black, but it is so nice, and it is an adjustment for me to be here and be able to turn on a light switch. I have my chandelier. I wanted it to be probably about another 2 feet lower, but I wasn't able to figure out how I was going to do that because it's a rod instead of a chain, so it was a little bit more complicated. But it's going to grow on me, you know, the position that it's in. You'll see too that I have my fans in the house now. If you see, I have about 30 some feet ceiling, so it is a really tall house. And so I put a fan in the attic, and I'd say that fan is extremely powerful, and it moves and circulates and that air in that space. And then I have another fan on the ceiling area, the wood ceiling, the main floor area, and my thought is that's going to push that hot air down into the living space. So once I'm able to start a fire here, we're going to be able to circulate a lot of that hot air instead of using a lot of my propane. As a lot of you know, I have a lot of wood here, and I'd like to be able to start burning it soon to keep the house warm instead of paying all the time for propane. I'm just going to interject this a little bit. It cost for 1 month in the wintertime. Now it was negative 33 degrees here. It cost $650 to heat the house for that 1 month. Now we had to keep the house at about 62 or 65 because I think that's when the drywall was being mudded and stuff. So we had to keep the house a little bit warmer. I keep the house at about 55 degrees now. However, it's staying consistent about 62 at night and about 66 during the day. And but in the winter months it gets really expensive to heat this house, and so that's why I really am looking forward to starting to use that wood stove. We are also currently working on getting some of our pulls on our cabinets, so we're doing a couple of them. Now we're not able to live here yet, but we have started to stack our food inside the cabinets, and then we're using the trash bins and stuff like that too, so it is actually pretty nice to starting to get those hand pulls on those cabinets. In the 2 bathrooms, I have heated floors, which are not quite hooked up yet, so I am waiting for the electrician on that. And then I also have a heat lamp. Right when you walk out of the shower, I have one of those heat lamps, and I'm told that that's like 1970s, but there's something, I like it. I like when I get out of the shower, it's nice and warm. So the bathrooms are probably going to be the warmest spot in the house, would be my guess, because again, I will be keeping the house probably around 55 degrees. I do have in the bedrooms, I have electric heat as well, just in the bedrooms, so I can turn those off if I want. It's like a radiant heat. And we tested that out, and those work really well. And so the bedrooms will be able to stay warm, where the rest of the house can be 55 degrees, and so it won't be freezing. So I'm always trying to think of any way I can to reduce my cost in regards to my monthly, and using a lot of my propane, because my furnace is a forced air propane. and it definitely goes through it in the wintertime. I have a fan in my crawl space that constantly circulates air into my crawl space. It seems to be constantly running, but I think it's supposed to run every once in a while, but it seems like every time I'm outside that I notice that it's running. And it's just pulling air inside the house through the crawl space and then outside. And it just makes it so that the crawl space stays nice and warm, and so then therefore your pipes do not freeze. You will notice that I have my dragon heads on the peak of my house. Now I was going to have it on the top peak and the peak right above the porch, but they weren't able to get it up on the top, so I only got the one on the porch, and it looks so cool to see my own drawing up on my house, and I think it's really cool, and I want to add a lot of that kind of stuff to the house, and stay tuned, you guys will end up seeing a lot of that, but I want to be able to make it a lot really custom. I'm going to do murals in the house, and I'm going to paint on the deck and the doors and stuff like that too. So it's going to be a very artsy, very colorful house, very creative. You will see that I have all of my railings done, and I'm actually sitting right now on my balcony that I have been it's always been really nervous to be here because it's like a 20-some foot drop from here, and it's really nice to be able to stand out here. In fact, I've actually even slept out here and I was gonna actually sleep out here last night, but it's been raining a lot here, so we just kind of decided to sleep inside, and so we're actually sleeping in the second bedroom right now, and but I can see myself sleeping out here a lot during the summer months. Oh, the hummingbird. So Scott really wanted to have a hummingbird feeder. So we went out and got one, and I know it attracts bears, but it's 20-some feet high, so I don't think the bear can get to the balcony. But it has been so cool to sit out here and just watch the hummingbirds come by. I've been really enjoying that. In my downstairs bathroom, I have a custom vanity. I haven't talked about this vanity too much, but it is very special to me because if you remember, I don't know, it might have been 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something like that, I cut down some trees in my forest. And then I set them out, maybe it was 3 years ago, then I set them out to dry for a season. And then I gave it to a friend of mine, and he milled it into boards, and then it has created me a custom vanity from the wood on my property. And it is very special to me, and I put it in the downstairs bathroom so everyone can see it. Interesting part too, if you noticed, remember how I talked about the stain of my house? It was supposed to be really dark. All the beams were supposed to be really dark, and they end up coming up pretty light, but it's growing on me. I really like the color now. He ended up using the same stain, and it's almost black. So yeah, that's kind of what I thought my beams colors were gonna be, and yeah. So, but it still looks really great. I need to put some handles on them. Now he was able to use some other wood too, just for structure, because I am going to have granite on top of that, and aspen's not a very strong wood, and so he did improvise and put some other types of wood in there, but a lot of the wood that you're seeing is the aspen from my property, and I am very excited to have that vanity finally here. It is not complete yet. We still have a couple more things to do, but you'll see it in the future when it's all done. To help out with all the mud that we've been having a crazy amount of mud. I have put down a bunch of rock for us to right up to the house, but you'll notice that it doesn't cover my entire driveway. Eventually I will have it go through the entire driveway. It only is up to the house, but it's for when you're unloading and loading the car, you're not getting a bunch of mud in your car, because it was getting pretty bad. So some other quick kind of updates regarding timeline and stuff. I think I mentioned that a little bit. I don't think the timeline has changed too much. In order to get my CO, the next thing I really need is plumbing in the house. And in order to get plumbing, I have to have countertops. And I think I mentioned this before. I have picked out my countertops. I actually went to the very basic granite that they have, the lowest line that they have, just so that I could have that kind of granite look. I think it's still going to look pretty good. I kind of go back and forth, you know, of whether or not I like it. And even today I was telling Scott, I was like, I don't know if I like the granite color. Because it's more of like the island's more like black and white, and I'm like, I don't think it's gonna match. But I've already made the decision. I've already bought the slab, and they're fabricating it right now. But they won't be able to install it until late July. And then after they install it, then I can get a plumber here. So we're probably looking at a CO, certificate of occupancy, in case you don't know what that means. That means I can move in. We're probably looking at end of August, beginning of September would be my bet to when we'll be able to move in here. And then I think what I'm going to do is just enjoy it. You know, I'll have a little bit of projects I want to do. I still need to stain a lot of this railings and stuff like that, but I really just want to be able to have a bed here and maybe some furniture, and just kind of make it a home a little bit more is what I'm looking forward to doing. Probably in September would be my bet, as when we will be moving some furniture in, so that we're not sitting in camping chairs the whole time we're here. That will be nice. Or cots, yeah, or cots too. So I think Scott's been very patient and very nice and helping me out with a lot of things. He actually did some work on some cabinets and put in a new vent, because they put a vent underneath our cabinets. And I'm like, how are we going to do this? So it's very nice that he's handy. I'm very excited about that, because we're able to get a lot of stuff done, and we play too. So we told ourselves that, you know, we'll work on a cabin for like half a day, and then we'll go out and play for half a day. And I think that's important for the two of us to be able to get out. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will soon have another video. I want to talk about a lot of the security that I have at my cabin. Security is a big thing for me here, because I'm not here all the time, and I want to talk about that in my next video. And so stay tuned for that, so you can kind of get an idea in case you're looking at security for your home build as well. I got some good ideas for you. I will be okay waking up